let's go back to the initial question by our friends here. I mean, the answer that I would say is no. I don't think that Judaism even knew about Shammai in terms of these rulings. With that said, there was certainly, now we can get into a different realm, there was certainly a tradition in the first century that Jews were not allowed to eat with Gentiles. And we know this because Jubilees specifically says that, and so does the Scriptures.
Acts 10, Peter tells him, you know that it is
exactly.
It's not the word not lawful. What you have to look at that Acts 10. He doesn't say that it's contrary to the Torah of Moses. Right. He doesn't say that.
Yep.
He says it's generally not, it's not lawful.
So let's take
for a Jew to eat with a
Let's
Gentile.
take that then. Let's take that. We know that this is a tradition because the Scriptures say so in Acts 10. When the Jerusalem Council comes along, did the rest of Judaism get the memo? And the answer is no. I don't believe they did. And the reason why is because I don't know how much people have seen our past shows. There was a time, I don't know, maybe 8-9 years ago, I had an online debate, and not like a formal debate, but a back and forth of blog posts with a guy named the college rabbi or the university rabbi or something like that. And basically he goes around to different universities and acts as the rabbi for the Jewish community of college students. And so we were talking about, me as a Messianic Jew and all these things. And basically what was going on is I had said that I think that Christians are more receptive to people they disagree with than Jews are. And he took great offense at this. And I said to him, I'll tell you what, the next time you're in the Seattle area, you let me know. You can come out at the time, we were completely Shomer kosher. Okay, we had no meat in our house whatsoever. My wife and I had both gone on a strictly pescatarian diet. We had been on that diet for years. I said to him, "Look, come over to my house, and for Erev Shabbat, I have a Shomer kosher kitchen. We'll have Shabbat with you, and we can interact about these things." The comments from other Jews show that they didn't get the memo, even up until our day. And the reason why is because they said, you can't eat with him. What if he prays over the wine to Jesus in the next room? What if he says a blessing over his entire kitchen to Jesus before you come over? You can't do that. You cannot eat with a Gentile. That's what they said. And ultimately, the offer was rejected. The offer was rejected to come over to my house for Erev Shabbat. And that proved my point, that he was less receptive to someone who disagreed with him. He can't even sit down and have a meal with me. So anyway, I don't think they got the memo. I think that when we look at Acts 15, when we're looking at Acts 10, we're seeing the shift. But believers are coming to the understanding that the nations will come, that God's house will be a house of prayer for all nations, right? This is the main shift. In fact, in Acts 21, what happens? Paul stands up in front of the people at the temple and he's preaching, right? He's preaching the gospel, preaching the gospel, preaching the gospel. They have no problem with it until he says, and the Gentiles are part of this. And then they say this man should be killed. So the idea that the Gentiles would be included in the covenants is really the reason that Christianity, I think, is, obviously, Christ is the reason, but the idea that Christ would bring Gentiles into the covenant, this is what is completely rejected. Like, we certainly cannot accept this man as a Messiah if he's going to say that the Gentiles are included in our covenant. That's not going to work. So I think that this issue is the core issue of the New Testament, that we see all the nations coming in, and particularly in Galatians, right? The book of Galatians is centered on this specifically.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.